The cooperative company Cantine Due Palme was founded in 1989 in Cellino San Marco near Brindisi in the Puglia region. The cooperative was created thanks to the vision and drive of Angelo Macci, who is the third generation in a family of winemakers. Today, the company has 1,200 growers who are members of the cooperative. Its vineyards cover 2,400 hectares between the provinces of Brindisi, Taranto and Lecce, which are in the heart of the Salento region. Cantine Due Palme has 5 wineries, which together have a total storage capacity of 450,000 hectolitres. Cellino San Marco is the main headquarters of the cooperative. It is the beating heart of all commercial activities and vinification and measures 45,000 square meters. Here, the whole process from vinification through aging and finally bottling is carried out. The winery, which receives about 1,500 tons of grapes per day during the vintage period for processing into wine, has 5 tanks for unloading, 4 vacuum presses, 5 crusher destemmers, 3 chillers and a well-equipped laboratory for highly technical analysis. The highlight of the production department is the cellar. Here the finest wines are aged and stored in barrels of French and American oak, giving a total capacity of 10,000 hectolitres of wine. The cellar overlooks the beautiful Selva Rossa conference room with 800 seats, which houses the shareholders' meetings and conferences relating to viticulture. The conference room is unique in Europe, housing several French and American barriques. The room measures 800 square meters and is 5 meters underground. Within the 2,400 hectares of vineyards surrounding Cantine Due Palme, 90% of the production is in red grape varieties and 10% in white varieties, with an average annual production of about 30 million kilos of grapes and a yield that varies around 10 tons per hectare. Our strength lies in the great tradition of the wine varieties of Salento. We produce the native Negro Amaro, Primitivo, Susamaniello, Aleatico, Piano, Malvasionera and Moscato. But we also dedicate some of our land to non-native varieties, including Sangiovese, Palangina, Montepulciano, Cabernet Sauvignon, Merlot, Syrah, Pinot Bianco e Nero, Chardonnay and Sauvignon. We produce 6 wines which have the European Union protected designation of origin. They are Salice Salentino Rosso, Salice Salentino Bianco, Primitivo di Mangiuria, Brindisi, Squinzano and Lizano. Cantine Due Palme are the only winemakers in Italy to achieve certification on the production of grapes and wine without the use of pesticides. The certification issued by Checkfruit, which is one of the leading organizations in Italy within the field of agro-food industry standards, continues to be a source of great pride for Cantine Due Palme. Since 2011, their grape production does not use any chemical pesticides which are harmful to human health and the environment. The very positive results being achieved are a valuable reward for the excellent work of those members who have been involved in the project from the beginning. Since the company's founding in 1989, Cantine Due Palme has chosen to adopt systems of integrated pest management to meet stringent production rules, limiting the use of chemicals in their vineyards and completely eliminating insecticides. One of the insects which often causes problems is the grapevine moth. Expert agronomists have learned to identify the early clues of the presence of the moth larvae. The grapes become softer, take on a brown color, and the presence of cracks on the surface all reveal the intense activity of the young larvae. Once the larvae hatch, they penetrate the grape's surface, ruining the crop. To reduce cases of moth infestation, agronomists have introduced the strategy of sexual confusion. Numerous containers are used to spray large quantities of a product that competes with the natural female hormone, which causes confusion in the male species and discourages the female to stay on the vines, so that breeding cannot take place there. Cantine Due Palme continues to follow its dedication in keeping processes as natural as possible, in keeping with the growing social interest on the theme of eco-sustainability. Depending on the type of wine to be produced, the agronomist will create a strict and precise plan and timeline to allow for the ideal processing of the newly received grapes. The first step consists in weighing the grapes at weighing scale number 1. Each member of the cooperative arrives at the winery equipped with their own personal magnetic identification card. Their contribution is weighed, and an operator records the origin of the grapes and their gross weight. At this point, the company can collect information on the properties of the grapes. For example, whether they were harvested manually or mechanically, the cultivation system used, or if the sexual confusion method was used to control moth populations. The second phase begins at the refractometer to test the level of sugar. The grapes are subjected to the detection of alcohol and other stringent health checks. A probe will make the initial checks. It takes multiple samples of the freshly crushed grapes, otherwise known as must, and sends the must into a must weight, which calculates the sugar content of the fruit. Although well supported by these types of automated reports, the responsibility for the final decision on the quality of the product rests in the hands of the agronomist. Using a special ladder to access the trailers, they observe the grapes and, with scrupulous attention to detail, give their verdict on the quality of the grapes. If the outcome of both checks is positive, then the grapes are assigned a category. The grapes are classified into 3 categories, A, B, and C, and are then transferred to one of 5 pipes and flow into a crusher destemmer machine, where the stems are separated from the grapes and removed by a conveyor belt. After the crushing and destemming, the grapes are fermented and macerated in vertical and horizontal steel automatic fermenters, all thermoregulated. The vertical fermenters use the carbon dioxide produced during the fermentation of the grapes. Using a pump, the inert gas is pumped into the bottom of the fermenter underneath the cap of grape skins forming on the surface of the wine, which allows the product to dissolve efficiently and homogeneously. To optimize the phase of maceration and to achieve a very high-quality product, Cantine Due Palme employs horizontal rotating wine fermenters of 2 types, Vor and Gioiello. As the must gets rotated inside, the container ensures the liquid and the solid parts of the must thoroughly come into contact with each other, extracting a higher content of polyphenolic and aromatic substances. The Gioiello fermenters are the pride and joy of the production department. With a rotating inner grid which creates a submerged cap, they are the most appropriate tool for the most sought-after winemaking techniques, such as carbonic maceration. All the horizontal tanks have small blackboards on which winemakers write the date it was filled, the variety of grape, and the Barbo sugar level found at the time of filling. Through a special tap, it is possible to measure on a daily basis the consumption of sugars during fermentation. At the end of fermentation, when the sugar of the grapes has been completely transformed into alcohol, the reservoir is ready to be drained. It is at this point that the must is pressed and conveyed into the tanks, together with the free rum juice. Winemaking techniques have their roots in the folds of time. The traditions of winemaking stretch back over thousands of years. With its knowledge and wisdom of the land and its secrets, Cantine Due Palme stands amongst the greatest modern interpreters of traditional Italian winemaking methods. It is able to produce excellent quality table wines, exported with pride and honor throughout the world. The tried and tested attention to detail that characterizes the management of its winemaking process has shaped the ethos of Cantine Due Palme. It combines the traditional farming of the past and the avant-garde technology of the future to achieve world-class standards of quality. Now that the winemaking stage is concluded, the delicate moment has arrived to pour the wine into bottles. The bottles are thoroughly sterilized with water, which is filtered through cartridges of varying porousness. The washing is automated through different cleaning programs, carefully established by the winemakers and each dedicated to a different type of wine. A jet of high-pressure water permanently washes the bottles. A sensor system monitors the quality of cleaning. The values of pressure and water supply are monitored continuously. The bottles must be clean and ready for the next step. The wine, already filtered to ensure purity, is transported to the bottler. Finally, there are 45 different taps to ensure the flow of the wine into the bottles. After the bottling, a fully automated process based on an optical sensor verifies that each cork has been fully inserted. It will identify and discard each bottle that does not comply due to not being completely filled or airtight. The product is now ready for labeling and any other finishing touches. A machine will seal the cork with a protective coating in PVC or polylaminate for high-quality wines. Then the labeling machine applies the labels on the front and rear. The label is our business card, that of a good wine. The lot number is inkjet printed on and guarantees the traceability of the batch of production in accordance with European standards of safety and quality. For some special editions, Cantine Due Palme will add decorative medals and collars to the bottles. We are now at the final stage. The boxes are raised and opened by means of suction cups and then sealed at the bottom to ensure the strength of the box. Honeycombed cardboard is put inside the boxes to protect the bottles from shocks. During the case filling, 2 additional controls are carried out to prevent empty spaces, which could be potentially dangerous to the integrity of the product during transport. The first examination is by an optical sensor, followed by a second when the box is weighed and compared with the target weight. The box is then sealed and the correct label is added according to the wine that is found inside. The boxes are then transported onto a pallet and wrapped with plastic film. The plant is able to produce an average of about 11,000 bottles per hour. The plant can fill up to 70,000 bottles per day if it is bottling the same type of wine and the settings do not need to be changed. All stages, from fermentation to transport, are fully automated and monitored by security systems, ready to give the alarm in case of anomalies, guaranteeing the highest quality of our products, the protection of our employees, and the health of our customers. Cantine Due Palme ranks among the very best exponents of southern Italian agriculture. Its expertise has been built over time thanks to the blend of experience in the wine industry and the methodical study of new ecological vineyard management systems. Our company can boast having the best experts. They are meticulous in applying their techniques, maintain precise production control, and guarantee authenticity. It is this technical expertise and the ethical processes which allow us to move with pride and confidence within both the mass market and the demanding restaurant markets abroad. It is the best way of demonstrating to the large audience of admirers of Italian products around the world, who have come to love our style, a style that is pure and simple, and yet at the same time refined. Like the strong sun of Puglia, the energy of Cantine Due Palme's determination has illuminated clearly its path towards realizing a dream, to spread its winemaking tradition of quality throughout the four corners of the world. With ever new impetus and passion, Cantine Due Palme continues to strengthen its presence in the international market through the virtual channel of e-commerce, to reach new markets with the innate ease and speed that only the internet can offer. Immersed in an atmosphere of passion, enthusiasm and pride in their products, Cantine Due Palme has established itself successfully in Italian and foreign markets, assisted by an annual production of about 9 million bottles, and to play a key role in the internationalization of Italian wines.